I'd like to thank Joplin firefighters for boot blocking for MDA.
MDA pays for flu shots. MDA helps towards research. We just found out last week that they are doing some, what do we call it, genetic trials for our particular disease. So I sent an email and said, I may be interested. I do that on my own time. But without the connection of MDA and knowing that money is going towards research, then I personally want to get involved. Because if we are finding a medication that's going to help her as an adult live a more productive life, I'm willing to give up my time to be able to help to do that. We were interested in doing any genetic testing for her to be able to define which strand of CMT she actually has. Found out which particular strand it is, and it's the most common hereditary one that is passed down, and it's PMP22 gene that was deformed. And what we're losing, what she's losing, is the myelin sheath protection around our nerves. And so losing that, it's like an electrical wire at the end of that wire, and you guys are all firemen, so you guys get this. The end of the wire is just frayed, and so when that current comes down to the end of that wire, there's no signal where that can go. And so it mostly affects our extremities, like her hands and her feet. So MDA has an MDA clinic that kids go to, and ours falls on a Wednesday in Springfield, and he is very well versed in her muscular dystrophy disease that she has, and so which is Charcot-Marie-Tooth. And you know, knowing the disease, knowing the genetic type that she has, you know, it's a 50-50 chance of passing it on. MDA supports us in the way, and the reason why we do what we do, to personally take our own time, our own gas money, our own travel time, our own vacation days off of work, to thank the firefighters and other businesses and what they donate, is because MDA covers the cost of her seeing that specialist. When you're diagnosed, you know, with just any ailment with a local doctor, and they need to refer you on to a physical therapist, maybe need to refer you on to a dietitian, an occupational therapist, you're going to have 4 to 6 appointments with those organizations. At the MDA clinic, it's 1 appointment. All of those people are at that appointment, not just the neuromuscular dystrophy specialist. The doctor is there to help with medical equipment. They're there to help tighten her wheelchair, power scooter, power chairs for other kids. They're there to work on them that day or order whatever parts they need. Her orthopedic specialist comes and checks her leg braces, checks her shoes, watches her walk to see if they need to maybe have things adjusted. So that person is there. From Scott Larson Orthotics. Dietitian is there. So if there's something, you know, that we need to be doing different for her diet, they're there to talk with us about that. Occupational therapy is there to try to work with her hands. After the doctor sees her, he goes out and says, I need OT to come in, we need to look at her hands. I need PT to come in, we need to talk about gross motor skills. And so then the physical therapist comes in. We don't have to go to 6 different appointments. So that is provided through MDA to be able to go to that 1 appointment. So camp has allowed her the opportunity just to be a normal kid, right? You know, and in her eyes, she's very high functioning. So it's a good learning experience for her to know that there are kids that are worse off than she is. And so it helps her just, in April, she starts counting down how many days till MDA camp. So it's pretty exciting. You know, our theme this year is living unlimited, so she gets to be and do what she wants to do. No, we take care of our own expenses, our own gas. MDA doesn't pay us gas to drive clear to Kirksville, you know, and Columbia and St. Louis, and you know, that's all on the family. But what MDA does is provides her with a specialized doctor in Springfield. Once we found out that MDA could, paid for that appointment in Springfield, insurance picked up what it could, what was left over, MDA covered 100% of it. That's how MDA pays us, is they take care of that for us. MDA does not pay us to do any of that. We take time off of our jobs to do that. We take time off of, he just worked 12-hour shift last night, and is here today. And so the only benefit that we have for MDA is the medical aspect. Sends her to camp with, camp also, MDA also pays for her a buddy. Each child has their own personal buddy that has gone through a little bit of training on what their disease is, and some training if she happened to use, some equipment, for the buddy to know how to work that equipment for some of those kids, like a bed lift.